And one thing that helps to arrive is to let go a nice deep sigh. Like, allow your mouth to relax, your jaw to relax. Letting go. And many of you are already seasoned meditators. So you know that actually meditation is not an action, it's not a doing. In fact, it's about allow yourself to stop doing anything and let everything happen by itself. So your breathing is natural, spontaneous. You sit in a way that it feels comfortable and right for you. We don't need any strange extra lotus position or 532 sadhanas or things like that. We just sit. And you allow your body to find its own alignment, its own way. One of the most miraculous and beautiful manifestation of being is diversity in infinite combinations. Each one of us is absolutely unique. The way we move, the way we breathe, the way we think, the way we sit, the way we feel, the way we act, the way we love, the way we get pissed off, the way we are in touch with our own awareness. Uniqueness is the nature of being. In fact, it's even more than that. Being does not have a choice but to create uniqueness. Because through uniqueness, being manifests itself and knows itself. So we are the senses of being. We are his eyes and his ears and his arts, or her eyes, her ears, her arts. So being is knowing itself right in this moment through each uniqueness, embodied and alive. When we allow ourselves to not only to understand intellectually, but to start owning consciously our uniqueness and allow ourselves to travel in the incredible, glorious adventure of being that uniqueness, that immediately comparison disappears. Immediately hierarchy disappears. Immediately competition disappears. Because uniqueness is incomparable. Uniqueness does not compete, because you can't compete with what and who is completely diverse than what you are. than who you are. So falling into this incredible richness of uniqueness is not only liberating, but is extremely relaxing. So allow yourself right in this moment to experience this uniqueness in the way you are sitting and breathing and listening and being aware of the space inside yourself and around you. Because this is exactly the theme of this day, these hours together, and of this whole webinar on dimensions of being. How being manifests itself through universal qualities present in each one of us, and yet present and embodied in an absolutely unique way. So try to be here and be present and listen without preconceived ideas, without past knowledge. Uniqueness is always new, is always fresh. And that's you, that's us, that's everybody, that's everything. And you can call it uniqueness, you can call it God, you can call it the absolute, you can call it primary awareness, you can give it any name you want. Infinite diversity in infinite combinations. Okay, and then feel your legs and your arms and allow your eyes to open and give yourself a little stretch. Yes. So thank you for being here. Good morning, good day, good evening, depending where you are and depending on what stage of the day you are. Here in Australia, we are approaching the beginning of the evening. And for some of you, you just woke up, and others are already in the middle of the day. Which tells us immediately that time is just a convention. It's something that we use for purely functional reasons. Because in this moment, we are here all together and we are beyond time. So the day will, the hours today, this evening, will go like this. I will, first of all, frame this journey, this adventure that we are starting, which is called the dimensions of being. I will give a general frame of what it's about, and I will talk about the most basic content that we will be exploring, encountering, experiencing in these modules. Then we will have a short break. Then there's going to be an open space of question and answers or sharing, if you want to share whatever you want to share. And then there's going to be a second part where I will not talk so much about the content, but I will talk about how we work in this particular webinar. We talk about the methodology, the how. And then if we have times, we're going to have a little bit few more things, like about the sources of all this approach, and that's it. And more or less, we're going to go for about 2 hours. Yeah, I can't promise that I'm going to stay within the 2 hours, and let's see. People that know me knows that I'm not good at promises. I keep breaking them. So, the dimensions of being. The fundamental understanding in this way of approaching the spirit is that we are already complete. There is nothing missing. We arrive on this planet with the whole package. Being provides us with all the qualities, all the potential, all the resources that spirit is. And we call them essential qualities. We call them essential qualities because they are the essence of our true nature. Because when we reconnect with who we really are, we can, and also even before reconnecting with who we are, already when we are in the journey, we can experience that there are certain qualities that appears. Now, the fundamental essential qualities, there are many, but the fundamental essential qualities that we will experience and dive into in the next few months, they are part of a map which belongs to the Sufi tradition, even though similar maps are found also in the Tibetan tradition, in the American Indian tradition, in Gnostic Christianity, and so on. And in particular, we focus on 5 fundamental essential qualities. One is called essential will. Another one is called essential strength. A third one is called essential compassion. And another one, essential peace and power. And the last one, essential joy and curiosity. And to these 5 qualities have been assigned 5 colors that are part of the traditional Sufi mysticism. So the essential will is called the white essence. Essential strength is called the red essence. The compassion is called the green essence. And the peace is called the black essence. And yellow yellow is the joy and curiosity. So the essence of joy and curiosity. Now, when I say that we assume out of the understanding of our own journey and our awakened nature, that we are complete, what it means is that we arrive on this plane, on this particular plane, which is our planet in this moment. We embody in the body, and we arrive already enlightened, already awake. In psychology, this is called the ignorant enlightenment, in the sense that the child is not consciously enlightened, is not consciously aware of his or her own nature. And the process of the search has to do with reconnecting with our enlightened nature after losing it because of conditioning. I'm not going to go here into why we lose it, because that would open up a long process of understandings and misunderstandings and different points of view. But you can see, and you know, as pretty much everybody knows, that we receive a conditioning. We are trained. Yeah. I use consciously this word. We are trained because there is a level of imposition, aggression, violence, together with caring. And that's what every parent, and there are many here that are parents, you know that this is something that needs to be done. Every parent, every father, and every mother has a fundamental responsibility, which is, how can I provide my daughter, my son, my children with some tools that can help her or him or them to survive in society. Now, society is not an enlightened society. Society is made and built around survival needs. So every parent has to provide children tools about how to survive. And that's what we call conditioning. For example, Marga. Marga loves to laugh, loves to move, loves to be seen and expressive. And most probably, when she was a child, she was a big energy. And most probably, now somebody, I don't know exactly who, but somebody in her family, perhaps more than one, started telling her, you are too much, this is not okay, you can't laugh everybody like a crazy kid every time that you want, you need to be a little bit quieter, or like they used to tell Ketan, be quiet, you know. Don't run all over the room, all over the house, you know, just sit silent, you know. So conditioning is about control. As simple as that. Is about control, and therefore is about obedience and adaptation to control. So we arrive here with an immense amount of life force, red energy. We arrive here with an immense capacity of love, of kindness, of contact. And we are told, not too much, don't touch too much, especially don't touch yourself too much, because that's really a sin, yeah? And even less touch the others, because who knows what people will think of you. So conditioning is about castration, is about making every child that arrives here as an explosive, absolutely full of intelligence, energy, power, beauty, joy, potential, little by little becomes constricted. So the first two pillars of this work are, first, what we are talking about when we are talking about essence, our essential nature, who we really are. What are these qualities that we bring on this planet, and how did I separate from these qualities? For example, did I lose my immediacy, my spontaneity in my capacity to love? How did I lose my capacity of roaring like a tiger when I am full of energy, and became a little sheep or a little mouse, and you know, go, okay, yeah, I'm not going to be too much, yeah? Or, for example, in my case, I was very, very introverted, as you can see, when I was a child, and I loved to spend time by myself. I didn't give a damn about entertaining anybody, going to my mama's friends and say, hello, this is me, you know. Like, I didn't give a fuck. You know, I just love to be by myself, possibly in a nearly dark room. I love the darkness. I love that sense of no boundaries, no direction, which is the black essence. And yet there was always somebody telling me, my name was Emilio at that age, Emilio, what are you doing there by yourself? Go out and play with the other kids. Come and do this. How can you stay there doing nothing? So it was like a continuous hammering. Be different than who you are. Don't allow yourself to just be. So this is what conditioning is about. It's about moving away from being and being this uniqueness of embodiment of our the universal qualities, and becoming someone, becoming somebody, becoming something that can fit in society. And that's necessary because, you know, that's how we survive. We learn to fit. We learn to have strategies. We learn to bend ourselves. We learn to adapt. We learn to be cautious, you know, and so on. So that's the second pillars. The second pillars is what we call in this kind of approach, we call it the wholes. The wholes are literally a sense of lack, a sense of I'm missing something. I lost something. Most of the time, we don't even know exactly what we are missing and what we lost. Some people say, oh, I don't know. I just feel that I'm missing something, you know. And some people say, no, I know exactly. I'm missing love, or I'm missing contact, or I'm missing intimacy, or I'm missing the possibility to actually be brilliant and intelligent because I was told, no, don't shine, just stay small. Or I'm missing my passion because sexuality is, you know, a little bit, but not too much. Yeah, love a little bit, but not too much. So the holes are sometimes actually, if they are physical sensations, most often they are physical sensations. They are particular areas in the body where we don't feel. For example, I have encountered tens and tens of people that tells me, I don't feel my belly. I don't feel my hips. I don't feel my legs. I can feel up to here, but then down there, it's like, I don't know exactly. I know that it exists because I can see it in the mirror and I can touch it, but I don't know exactly what's happening in my heart or in my solar plexus or in my belly or in my genitals. Some people have never felt their genitals as a real, embodied, alive reality. They only have images inside. That's why I use the word castration, because the process of conditioning is a process of castration of our life force in all its dimensions. And that is experienced as a sense of lack, a sense of missing. Like for me specifically, I don't know, I would say at least for 25 years, the missing was here, was in the heart, especially when I was with other people. When I was alone, I had some sort of connection with my heart. I could feel that there was something very sensitive and very tender and also very scared in my heart. But when I was with people, there was no connection with the heart. It was a shield in my heart. I was connected with my belly, I was connected with my head, but this in between, it was not there. And even people sometimes pointed it to me, and I say, fuck you, who you think you are? You tell me I don't have a heart. And many people had the guts, and I was so lucky that many people that loved me, they tell me, no, sometimes you really have no heart. It was not true. I had a heart, but I was not able to share it, to be that, to connect with it, especially with other people. So a little by little, I start realizing, wow, that's true. There is this connection there. So a lack is fundamentally a point of disconnection. I'm not in contact with a specific capacity, a specific ability, a specific sensitivity, a specific quality of my true nature. So essence is attacked by conditioning, is castrated, and then what we do is that at some point we start experiencing ourselves in a structure which we call personality, that is like a Gruyere tree with cheese, full of holes. And at that point, the result is suffering. Suffering is the unconscious sense that I have abandoned myself. I have left home. I am not connected with my true nature anymore. I might not be able to verbalize it in this way, but the sense is I'm exiled. I'm exiled, from the Garden of Eden. I'm not there. I am lost in the desert. And I know that the garden exists because there is a memory lingering somewhere, but I'm lost in the desert and I don't know how to go back home. And that's painful. Now, if you think that you know pain, forget it. Children, when we were children, the way we were experiencing pain was so radical, was so intense, was so non-psychological, was so non-mental, non-conceptual. This basically pain was am I living? Am I going to live or am I going to die? Am I going to live or am I going to die? Thousands and thousands of times during the day. So the intelligence of our survival capacity at some point realized in time that we could not cope 24 hours a day with that level of pain. So it created a structure in our psyche, which we call the superego, or the inner judge, or the controller, or the inner critic, or the Zen masters call it the barking dog, which has one fundamental job, which is to make sure that we don't go back into that pain so that we can survive. Now, of course, the price is that we are not real. We are not who we are. We are not in touch with our true nature. We are not in touch with our being, except in few magical moments. And we live a lie which is called personality, with all the missing, with all the lack. And to make sure that we don't go back to that pain, there is a twist that happens very early in life, usually already around 3-4 years old, which is that we don't look directly into existence and into ourselves. We have a little bit of a twist in the body and a little bit in the twist in our energy. So we kind of don't face reality, don't face who we are and what we are and what is life directly. We just look by the side. So I miss love and I try to find somebody that loves me. I miss intelligence and I go on Google to find information. I miss sexuality, and I go and, I just have sex, and maybe porn or whatever, So basically what we do is that instead of looking to the source, because true nature is here, we keep looking and running after something external. And that's what the superego is also about. Say, don't go in, go out. Make sure that you are successful, make sure that you make money, make sure that you get enlightened. Doesn't matter. But don't go really in and look at who am I, really? What am I doing here? How come God existence wants exactly me, unique, in this moment, on this planet? So the third pillar of this work is understanding how we keep unconsciously and going through a lot of suffering. We keep reinforcing day after day the mechanical abandonment, the mechanical leaving home by looking outside and avoiding facing the holes, facing the missing. So this is the superego, the inner judge, and especially the awareness of this mechanism is our third pillar. And then we have a fourth pillar so that things are very, can stay more or less stable. And the fourth pillar is that when all these things come together, the abandoning of our true nature, the formation of holes, and the presence of the superego, all this coming together creates what is called in the specific map that we use, which is the Enneagram, is called a fixation. A fixation means that all these different elements gel together and create a particular twisting, a particular distortion, which gets fixated, which means that we wake up in the morning and unconsciously we say, I am that. For example, if you are fixated that you need to be a winner, no, you wake up in the morning and say, I'm a winner, I'm a winner, I'm a winner, I'm the best, and I'm going to have to prove to everybody, and myself and to everybody in the world, that I'm the best. And of course, this means stress, competition, a lot of effort, and so on, which is not different than if I'm fixated on I am the worst, I'm a loser, because then I have to wake up and get up every morning and look around, you know, and make sure that I appear to everything and everybody as a loser. I'm not challenging anybody. Don't worry of me. I'm just a shadow. Yeah. So different fixation, they're not good or bad. They're just fixations. And they have a physical structure, energetic structure, mental patterns, emotional patterns, and so on. These are the 4 pillars, and they create a kind of circulation. So they keep feeding each other. And there isn't a beginning point and an ending point. So we can actually, in this work, the way we approach them is that we go in at any point. You know, we can move in from any direction. Sometimes we move in from the essence. Sometimes we move in from the issues that arise because we separated from our capacity to love, for example. And then, of course, there are all the relationship issues, and I'm not deserved to be loved, and maybe I'm not good at loving, and maybe and all the stuff that you know very well. Yes. If you know it very well, do like this with the head, please, so I know that. Yeah, all the relationships issue. Yeah, or for example, all the issues around being a failure in society, feeling that you know I'm a misfit, or you know I can't find my place, or whatever. You know, so we can enter from any side, and this is the beauty of this. One of the beauties of this approach, that is so multidimensional and is so alive, that there isn't a right way to work with it. There is a way that we discover as we move in, as we progress. I've been doing this work now since 1996. In 1996, I was trained by one of the founders of this work, Faisal Muqaddam, an Arab living in the States, and I was his first his first teacher, a senior teacher. And in all these years, now is what, 25 years that I'm doing it, is still an incredible source of discovery. Because this is about being, and being does not repeat itself. So it's not that because I've done it for 25 years, now I know it. I don't. In fact, the more I do it, the more mysterious it becomes, because more dimensions open up. New revelation arrive. And also there are more and more embodiments. So I work with people and I see, for example, how compassion is embodied in Irena, and is completely different than is embodied in Samarpan. And it's fascinating to see how being is so incredibly creative. So for me, I feel grateful that you guys are here and that you give me the opportunity to keep the journey going, to explore, you know, to dive into the adventure. So these are the fundamental pillars, and this is something that during each module, pretty much we touch all of them in different ways. Sometimes we go very deep into one of them, and less in others, and so on. And it changes. Depends also on the dynamic of the group itself.